Hi individuals, welcome to Blue UK Jazz Dance. Today it's Sunday, I'm in the park, I've been holistic freestyling. One of the key things about my dancing is I dance a lot in nature. I know a lot of information about how nature reacts on our body. We originally came into the earth with nature and we have a relationship to the earth, all of us, where we come from. It's important that people spend time in nature rejuvenating themselves. Now I've come out and I've danced with nature, reacting to its sounds, getting myself into the zone. I come out and dance because what happens is amazingly how the club scene has changed. The UK jazz dance culture scene, Manchester was a very different scene. The music that we played related to our nature in Manchester. Manchester is very green, yeah, and we like laid back vocals. It's a very rainy city. So the music that we had related to that. And so what happened, it provided holistic freestyling for us. When we practiced, we could hear the oceans, we could hear the rain, because that was in the vocals, in the soul of the music. And that released us, opened our chakras. So one of the key things now, we don't have a club scene 7 days a week, yeah? Years ago, we'd have a club scene, a home scene where everybody was dancing. Everybody was collecting music and everybody was dancing every day. An amazing, amazing story. And now you find out people are not dancing. What happens is you find a lot of people are ill. You find a lot of people are suffering from strokes because it's amazing how dance has amazing healing powers, how it can maintain your health. A few minutes a day. And I'm seeing what's for me is quite ironic for me because I see a lot of people running. I've got nothing against running, but I know that dancing is more powerful for you than running. A lot of people end up with hip problems, back problems. You know, we used to run, we used to do sports, but dance is one of the most all-round activities that you can do besides swimming. It's important that people understand that. And it's amazing the conditioning you have, because one of the key things is about dance relates you to relate to people. The dance I'm talking about is not me just dancing with myself. We did dancing in a creative way, in a competitive way, social dancing to meet others. And we pushed each other to the boundaries by the competition. But the social element was the key thing that you did it for. And that brought us health. We were inspired by watching other dancers, because what people need to understand, it's not only about you dancing also. People get inspired, feel healthy by watching dancers because their body gets exhilarated. They get endorphin rush from seeing spectacular dancers. Oh, he didn't just do that. Oh, did she just do that? So you have that self-expression. So remember, dance is about self-expression and creativity through the body. Remember, 58% around that area is communication. Body language plays a huge part in communication. Self-expression plays a huge part in communication. Do you understand? So when you go to the club, it's about dancing. Yes, we do talk, and we talk on the way there, and we talk, through the time we're there also. But it's about dancing, and dancing gives you that bond. And people really need to understand that. 58%, around 53% to 58% is body language. Go to a club and see what body language does in a club, what dancing does. Just watch the social element, what it does to see dancers in a club, moving, sharing their creativity, sharing how they move, their self-expression, and what it means to them. Because it's important that people need to understand, dancing is a statement to me. The dance I do is a homegrown one. You have to understand, in my place of the UK jazz dance is not even identified as a freestyle dance, even though it is a freestyle dance. If you look on the web, you won't see it categorized as freestyle dance. And what happens is, in my world, there's a gap missing for the dancers. And that happened because of a film called Absolute Beginners, and because Western privileged DJs betrayed UK jazz dancers. There's a reason, because what happened, Absolute Beginners came, the 3 top groups throughout England were supposed to be in this film. Two of them ended up in the film, but the film was a flop. it dehumanized the dance culture. What happened was the next generation of dancers who should have been inspired at the peak of our art form said, nah, I'm not doing that dance. Nah. So they turned to hip hop and they turned to house dancing. That's what happened, individuals. UK jazz dance had been around from 1975 to 1986. Everybody was dancing every day at the peak of the styles that should have went on to the next generation of dancers. People retired from it. Amazing story. White privileged. Again, through the shenanigans. That is a story I'm coming back to tell. And as an individual, in my city, overnight, people stopped dancing their own style. People started to adopt other people's style because each city had their own style that represented who they were, what they represented. Do you understand? So I kept my styles alive and then had to do what every other social dancer has to do. I started to move around as I was doing before, but before we had a 7-day week scene in Manchester, so I didn't have to move around that much. Do you understand? In the north. Now I had to physically get up and go and learn another style. I had to not physically go and learn styles, but I had to physically get up and go to other cities on a major scale to dance. And what you find is the DJs don't play the music the same way they play it in Manchester. So your style changes. It has to socialize with other people. You understand? But behind the scenes, I kept my own style alive. And I was always nurturing my style with other styles. You get me? To keep it alive. It's amazing when you pioneer an art form, how it's important to you to keep that art form alive, the learning, the thinking and developing. And I started to take the learning and thinking and development in different places. So how did I keep it alive? I started to involve in youth cultural exchanges. I started to travel parts of the world and introduce my dance there. This is me, I'm a pioneer. This is my style. This is how it developed socially. This is how it developed physically. This is how it developed intellectually. This is how it developed culturally, emotionally, spiritually, politically, economically, technologically, environmentally, and legally. How the dance was lost. The dancers got betrayed by white privileged DJs. I talked about the climate, the conditions in which the art form was born, which was one of oppression. What the dance gave was cultural freedom, self-actualization, and at the peak, when it was supposed to pass on to the next generation to provide them employment and careers, etc., what happened was a whole heap of dancers were lost and people gravitated to studying, taking on house from the United States and hip-hop from the United States, abandoning their own art form, not understanding the art form that we brought had secrets in it, secret wealths, the knowledge, the creativity of our parents. From the 50s and 60s born young people growing up in Britain, and our parents' knowledge were combined in that dance. It's not about the dance. When you know anything about dance, what happens is when you learn a dance, what do you learn? You learn about the people. You learn about why it's done, who did it, what was happening at the time, and that informs you. So this dance brought careers and employability for dancers. Around the world, you see today, our dance is being done